Hi, I'm Kate Madison, head of Mythica Entertainment and the director and co-creator of Ren the Girl with the Mark, our short-form fantasy series. We're currently running a Kickstarter to fund new episodes. We've already made 5 episodes of our show, which make up our season 1 and kick off our story. Previously on Ren.
Who wouldn't want it now? It's worthless.
It's the thing inside that matters.
What was in it?
A Mari spirit. You're in the Mari now.
Bane, and no matter what happens, we'll always find each other again.
Here, this creature's face. You see the mark. Mark of evil.
So this is where you've been hiding all these years, Mari Rai.
Khan is the reason your mother has gone.
What is a Moirai?
It's kind of a guardian for the Numari. Where are the others? Ren!
That first season has proved more popular than we could ever have imagined. Over 8 million views and 100,000 YouTube subscribers, 60 award nominations and 14 wins. It's amazing that you love the show as much as we do, and clearly it deserves a second season.
What do you want?
We've set our Kickstarter goals so that we can fund the first few episodes, fulfill our rewards and cover our Kickstarter and other fees. But we would like to make more than just the first 2 episodes. So as soon as we hit our initial target, we will begin working on stretch goals to fund more episodes. And like last time, you're a part of this, we can't do it without you.
Why?
There are no Hollywood studios involved in Ren, no streaming giants, no rich investors. The show is funded by people like you. It's your choice whether the show is renewed or cancelled, not some execs.
A trade's a trade.
In return for backing the show, we're offering some amazing rewards. There's all the usual things, like downloads and DVDs, but we also have some cool collectibles and some unique on-set experiences, like the Deluxe Extra, where you get to be in the show and keep your custom-made costume as well. You can shadow myself or Neil Oseman in the director or cinematographer experience. And do check back, because we might be adding more as we go through the campaign.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again for all your support. Please grab your rewards, share the page far and wide, and let's make our mark.
Thank you, Kickstarter!
Hello!
Hello!
Welcome everyone, I'm Neil Oseman.
I'm Kate Madison, and this person right here is Ben Dobyns. Ben, say hi!
Hello everyone, it's such a pleasure to be with you. I'm in from Canada here. I was just watching the stream, so on a 30-second delay, and then suddenly realized, oh wait, this is happening now.
Yes,
Yep,
very much so.
always the way. Okay, I'm just making sure volumes are all good. I think we're all good.
Thanks so much to everyone who supported the Kickstarter so far. We are almost at £26,000. That's 26% funded.
Yeah,
you
so
guys
close.
are awesome. Let's keep going. Let's keep that train moving. Keep the momentum, and push through to our goal and beyond.
Yeah, I hopefully have a sound alert that's going to go off when we get new backers. So we'll be hearing a little ding.
Yeah, we want to be really annoyed by that sound.
Yeah,
going
come
off
on,
all the time.
annoyed that I can even change it to a really annoying like some really annoying sounds if we want to. But you got to start annoying us first, and then we'll mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben kindly joined us. Ben, for anyone who doesn't know, one is the main guy really behind Zombie Orpheus Entertainment, and also an absolute key figure in the fantasy network that Ren is a part of, and that you've probably seen on our Kickstarter page that we are linked to for this the new episodes. And Ben is also our campaign manager, helping to make sure that this all runs smoothly. And so far, so good.
Doing a great job.
So far, so good. Well, like you said, we're at over 25%. there's a huge mailing list of people who signed up to support Ren. As usual, a lot of people are probably going to wait until the last minute. So
Yeah,
the big
just
message
teasing
I
us.
want to share is, yeah, we gotta keep that daily momentum. So if you're in a place where you think you want to support Ren, where you're excited about the show, and taking that plunge now instead of waiting till the last day makes an enormous difference. Every pledge right now helps keep that momentum going. So, and like they said in the video, Ren it's creator distributed, it's fan supported. The cancellation or success of the show is up to all of you, and I'm excited today because there's some pretty cool videos we're going to be watching. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought we sort of we attempted it the other day on streams to watch some of the episodes, but we kept getting distracted by other things, and then so we weren't doing a particularly good commentary. So this time
this one's going to be great.
This one's going to be a much more focused commentary. We're going to look at the supercut. So we'll binge the entire thing all together and try and keep up with it, talking about there's so much that goes on behind every single shot that it's like you could do these commentaries daily and every time there'd be something slightly different to talk about.
Yeah, sometimes I think we need to run the show in slow motion.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that on YouTube now. So yeah, maybe that's the thing to do. But yeah.
Well, and for people who haven't seen the show, it's available on YouTube, it's available on Amazon Prime, it's available on the Fantasy Network, it's now available on Mod Show, which is just launching. Where else can people watch and encounter?
Did we say Seed and Spark and Star Baby?
Star Baby TV, yeah, which is just launched recently.
Yes. So various places you can watch it. There's no excuse. It's even embedded in the Kickstarter page, so you can watch it while you're umming and ahhing about whether you want to be an extra in season 2 or not.
Yeah, that's one of our awesome rewards.
I want to be an extra.
Yeah.
An excuse to come over and.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We need to get you over here. You headed over to New Zealand recently, like last year anyway, and we'll have to get you over for when we shoot Ren.
Right. I've actually been to New Zealand twice now with the AFK team, so yeah, we have to get caught up. Really, what we need to do is get all of us together somewhere to shoot a big collaborative project.
I mean, to be fair, New Zealand is not a bad place to go do that. That would be very tempting. But if we can't do that, you can come here. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like I haven't seen those guys now for almost 4 years because I met them for the very first time when I went over to Melbourne for the Melbourne Web Fest, and I'd seen the show, and then I saw them right there, and was like, oh gosh, you guys are here, and then so we met there, and then I went to New Zealand shortly after that, and met up with and stayed at their house. They were absolute sweethearts, and we did do a little interview thing, which I think I don't think we've shown too much, so we should use that somehow. But yeah, it's been a while, and we talked years ago about doing some sort of collaboration somehow, and we're sort of trying to figure out like how to because the worlds are very different, so it's hard to merge the worlds, but merging us as filmmakers maybe was a thing. There was talk years ago of like us filming an AFK episode and them filming a Ren spin-off type episode thing, which I still like the idea of. We just need to get that sorted. So maybe overfund us and we can do that.
The AFK team actually just shot a Strowlers episode for us. So we're starting to get there.
Okay. See, it's all interlinked. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's global, which is so exciting that we're sitting here in our places as independent filmmakers and collaborating and sharing and working together wherever we are in the world, and that community is just incredible.
Yeah,
and it's always amazing how international our audience is as well. We have people all over the world who've watched and enjoyed Ren, and some amazing people who've translated our subtitles on YouTube and things, so that people can watch and enjoy it in these other countries. And,
yeah, exactly. Like there were various people who came over from from places all the way to the UK just to work on Ren. Whether that was all the way from north of Scotland, the Netherlands, Germany, but even Kelsey came all the way from America to work on the show. And then, but also people that we've never yet met, who worked. We had visual effects artists in India and Canada. I feel like I can't quite remember all the different places. People were all over the place, and that is. The joy of the digital age means that we can work with people all over, but hopefully at some point get to meet them in person, because it is so nice to be able to sit down with people and thank them properly and stuff. So, but yeah, we were able to work with so many people, and now we're collaborating with you guys as well, and it's really inclusive, which is awesome.
Yeah. I see on YouTube.
And not just for the creators, but for the fans.
Yeah.
It's a worldwide audience where everyone's participation and support makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. As you say, yeah. What were you spotting chats?
Yeah.
Hi guys, by the way.
Yeah, hi to everyone.
We're trying to keep up with the chats. We've got like 3 different chats going on because we're doing this system slightly differently today.
Yeah. Baron on YouTube is saying they'd like to see 30 to 40 minute episodes.
Ooh.
That would be fantastic. Let's get to the goal so that we can make what we can, and then let's push through, and
we definitely need our stretch goals to make that.
Make longer episodes.
I mean, in a way, just squish all the episodes like the supercut. You squish all the episodes together, they become a longer sort of thing. That it was always intended to sort of work in a way as almost like one episode is a season. And then the individual episodes are almost the sort of leading up to an advert break, where you just get a little teaser and then into the next one. So it works really nicely, that Amazon cut that we're kind of going to watch, and how it runs really well as a 45-minute cut basically, and so. We need to get to our stretch goals to be able to make a 45-minute cut of this new season. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we've only got the first couple of episodes when we hit our target, so that's why we're pushing past the target. Even at this stage, our sights are set higher, as always. Mm-hmm. We always set that bar high. But that's cool.
Basically, if you want to see more of Ren, whether that's more episodes, longer episodes, if you just want more, then you need to contribute, share, spread the word. Signal boost, comment,
all that
jazz. Good stuff.
Yeah,
tell people about it.
This show isn't a Netflix show, so you need to help support, because this show is for you. We're making it for you, and we're pretty much just us. This is pretty much the team. There's a few others, but this is not a big budget, crazy executive sort of hovering over you, cancelling at any moment. So. We have that creative freedom to do stuff. We just need you guys to be behind us, helping to push us forward and things, and then we can make the show for you.
Yeah,
it's that simple. Yeah. Should we stick the show on? Ben, do you think?
I think so. I'm having double audio right now, so I'm slightly distracted. I did want to say hi to RL Jackson in the Facebook feed. She's a creator of Shiny New Things, another Fantasy Network producer, and checking out what we're doing here as well.
Hey, we're hopefully gonna DM, because she was curious how I made this overlay. And so I commented and gave her some insight the other day, but I said I'd try and go through it in more detail, because I'm no real expert in this, and there are much better ones. But it was a nice. This is just basically a PNG from Photoshop, and then things like Ben and all these other things are all added in. Like this clapperboard is added in OBS and stuff. But I will chat with RL properly. And again, connect with another producer, which is going to be cool. So we can. I haven't seen what she's up to, so that would be cool to find out. Right, I'm going to have to, because we again have no producer doing tech, so I will go over here and click the button, and then maybe move things.
A big moment.
You've got double audio. Have you got double audio from us, Ben? I'm going to mute that one. It's because we've got you on speaker, so I don't know if you're coming back through the mic.
So Ren Season 1 was 5 10-minute episodes, but what you're about to see is the supercut, where those have all been combined into one kind of TV-length episode. And this is the version that's on Amazon.
There's a mystery tab somewhere.
Oh,
little
delay.
No,
little techie
it's not
issues
you.
in the background.
It's not you. It's
Okay.
me.
But we are going to have to coordinate hitting go, and I'm hoping that we're both looking at the same thing. I'm not looking at the one on YouTube.
Just
I'm
trying to
looking
get
at
the,
the Amazon supercut, so I'm hoping
Chat.
they're exactly the same.
Scroll down. Hey, Kmar Ricketts, thanks for your kind words. Looking forward to seeing more of it. Writing a story, cool. Always great to see other creative work.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, Ben, are you set to hit play? Because hopefully we won't be too delayed. That's the
very
confused
puzzled.
face.
Oh, is he hearing us?
I don't know.
We
We
may
lost,
have
we
lost
lost
contact
Ben?
with Ben.
Is it because Ben? Can you hear us? Okay, he's nodding. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I don't know how we're
Very
gonna press
high-tech.
play at the same time. We'll probably be a little delayed on.
Right.
But you know, we'll be roughly talking the same kind of stuff. So Ben, I'm going to. I guess I'll do I don't know what's the best way to do this. I'll do a 3, 2, 1, and then I'll hit transition, and that should be play
All
for
very
me.
high tech here, guys.
Ready?
All very high tech.
So 3, 2, 1, play. Yay! Right, that's right over my face, so I'm gonna move it.
Okay, this was a pickup shot. This scene was not in the script, this very opening scene. It was shot months after the fact in the backyard here, without the principal actors, just doubles wearing the arm guards and costumes. And that Retha prop was propped up on a bird bath.
It was on. I don't know if we clamped it in the C stand.
Oh, we might have done.
But then it laid down on a bird bath. Yeah, that is my bird bath in my garden. So, yeah, this was the wettest night of our lives.
Yeah, this is Epping Forest. So this is real rain. It was absolutely pouring it down. And it was kind of the one scene in the series that we could still shoot if there was lots of rain, because it has no direct continuity to anything else. So we just ploughed on.
Yeah.
And it looks great, but man, it was miserable.
It was pretty damn miserable. Yeah, it did look great, but we were so wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
and
we're
then
in the Brecon Beacons in Wales. Mostly with some pickup shots.
Yes, that shot of Ren peeking is actually Epping Forest with a bit of colour to make the brown leaves behind her look green because the wide, and that's my hand.
Yeah, in the backyard again. And stock footage of
Did you
deer.
do those illustrations?
Sorry? I didn't do
the
the illustrations, no. We had Kat who made lots of the cool designs and props for Khan's house.
Yeah,
drew those. She made that entire book, in fact. And she made both books, one that we burnt. And then I just sort of I doodled on top slightly. I added some shading. But no, I'm glad Kat had done that, because I can draw okay, but probably not quite as good as that. But yeah.
Yeah, so this is all Wales, an amazing location that our gaffer Richard Roberts found for us.
And this, if you haven't seen the behind the scenes, this close up is actually shot standing next to the river. We moved completely from, you can't shoot that on the waterfall.
No.
So we just went really low, shot into the sky. And I think a few of us tried it, but I think for the final shot it might be me, because I was trying to hold the bow. We didn't want her to actually string the bow and have a live arrow on that bow. So I was just holding both ends, trying to add some tension to that bow, and it works. I mean, someone did comment that she needs a steadier hand, and I'm like, oh, it's because I'm wrestling with her, deliberately wrestling to try and give some tension. But yeah, that was quite funny. It's like, oh, well, Easter egg. This is why she's shaking around, because I'm fighting her. Bob and Bob the
Ren
fish.
Everything in this show is just gorgeously shot. Can you talk a little bit about how you made it look so good on an indie budget?
Thank you. Smoke is a big part of it. Smoke,
He loves his smoke.
Shafts of light, very important for fantasy. The key to this scene really was that the roof of this set was made. This whole set was made out of twisted willow.
There's a twisted willow and then a bunch of straight willow from a fencing company. That there's so much offcuts. It's like a big bonfire. It's devastating. But it's all their sort of waste product. And Chris just went with the van a number of times and picked up all of this willow. And so yes, we had this twisted willow tree that becomes the central bit, and then all the roof is this stuff from the fencing company. And then a bit of the sort of mud walls are just paper mache on chicken wire. It's like it's a very simple set in lots of ways.
But the dressing really brought it to life a lot. The dressing by Amanda Steckley was amazing. And then I basically climbed up on this sort of metal tank thing that was behind.
Not advisable.
Behind the set, there was this kind of. It was an old paint workshop we were filming in, and there was this kind of big metal hood that I had to clamber up on to get the main light source to shine through all these sticks and give that lovely sort of sunny dappled light effect, which really picks up the smoke and makes the whole thing look really inviting.
Yeah.
So this is effectively a studio build.
Oh yeah. All the interiors and most of the exteriors were effectively studio because we took over a disused factory and built the village, which we'll come to a little bit later in the parking lot.
Apart from the forest.
Yeah, the forest.
Like this is epping again with a bit of fake CGI leaves to just make it look like she's coming through this thing. But this was just fields on the other side. Like there's no real forest there. It's like it's fields and then it's the car park.
Yeah, this is a bridle path that ran along the side of our studio, a sort of footpath, and it was perfect for the path to the village.
Yeah, so bit of sort of matte painting of mountains in the background, color graded and stuff, and that little pickup of Ren in the forest just to sort of try and link it all together, is how that all just made sense. So suddenly.
So we're once again then in the studio lot here.
Yeah, this is basically the car park. There was a huge car park sort of area, an outdoor space, parking lot for our American friends. Yes. And so essentially it became our back lot. If you had a studio, that would be where you build the set, and so that's where we built our set. And in fact, like the keep, sort of interestingly, like the reason we built the set in the place that we built it because there was a kind of interesting sort of ramp, I guess, for loading trucks and things. There was a ramp and a platform, just concrete thing, and we used that as the base of the keep, and then put the fake sort of stones around the bottom of it, and then our platform in front. But
that's the keep there in the back.
That is the keep, and that's actually a concrete plinth sort of thing that we just made use of basically. Our
reveal of the market.
Steadicam shot, one of only a couple really. Richard Roberts did some Steadicam stuff, and interestingly, one of the reasons that we've got quite a cinematic widescreen look going, the aspect ratio is quite squished? I don't know.
It's quite wide.
It's quite wide.
Which was because the set wasn't very tall, so almost every shot the set ends just above the top of frame, so we deliberately chose that wide aspect ratio so we'd be cropping at the top and bottom. And
I like the cinematic look of that, so I Born of Hope had a ridiculous one to try and, because it's surprising how just doing that, just giving yourself a wide aspect ratio, just makes it much more cinematic and more professional looking, I find.
Yeah.
So, if in doubt, just take the top and bottom off, and suddenly you'll improve everything.
Yeah, you've got to choose it for the right reasons.
You do it.
I
Yeah,
think.
if you do it as a DOP.
There's good creative reasons for every aspect ratio, but it definitely worked well for us here.
Yes. But yeah, like those flats are only 8 foot high, and we made little bits of sort of like fake bit of roof, and then it kind of just stops.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of shots where we did actually do some visual effects, like replacement to extend it. But we didn't want to be doing that on every single shot because it's almost impossible. So yeah, this just really helped to just give us what we needed.
Yeah. And actually that width to the frame allows shots like this of Torbury that we can have him sort of move across and lean over to the cart and things and stay in frame and keep Ren on the side as well. So I do like the compositional opportunities of 235.
I do, yeah. No, I like it.
I think this might have been my first day or one of my first days on the shoot because I joined 3 or 4 days late because I was away in the US actually.
Yeah.
So I got back, and as soon as sort of landed at Heathrow one morning, and by that evening was in Cambridgeshire ready to start work on this.
I think one of the first days, so we had a lot of extras though. So I think it was like, you were sort of there supervising, but like kind of watching what was going on more the very first day almost. So that's.
I think I was straight into it.
Was it?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember, like whether or not it was like trying to because it really was just thrown straight in.
Yeah.
It was like, hi, you're here, but we're already filming, so let's go.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy.
A lot of these scenes, these big scenes in the village square, were shot over many different days. A close up here with 3 extras, and then a wide shot when on a weekend. Typically we would have, because everyone was volunteering at the weekend, we'd have many more extras because people weren't working. So we'd do all our wide shots at the weekends basically, and then often pick up the tighter coverage on weekdays.
Yeah, so it did make it very bitty and quite difficult for everyone to try and sort of keep up with what was going on and how we shot things and stuff, but it worked.
Sophie,
Did you have to fight the weather at all?
Yeah, the weather.
Lighting consistent?
The weather was a bitch to us that whole year. Like that summer was very wet. Like you think UK, you think it rains a lot, but it really did rain a lot. Like big stormy type rain and like monsoony type rain almost at times.
Well, we had a hurricane that blew down parts of the village at one point.
Yeah. So we were really battered by the weather, and I mean, one good thing about that though, it made us very grateful that we had managed to get the studio, because the big worry about trying to find a location was not only finding one that was going to work, but finding one that that knowing that if we went to a location, we probably could only afford to hire it for a week, and then try and desperately I don't know how we would have shot everything in a week. And then come what may with the weather, which just wouldn't have worked with the fact that it takes place over pretty much 24 hours. And so whereas here, it was a pain, but everyone could go inside, like we could cover up all the stuff, go inside, everyone just plays Cards Against Humanity or whatever for a few hours, or carries on building something or whatever. And then when it stopped, we go back out, we try and avoid seeing the ground and how wet it is, and start again. So it did mean a lot of stalling for the weather. A lot. You can watch there's various behind the scenes videos about that, especially the elements water.
What we couldn't do, unfortunately, was go and shoot on interior sets when it rained, because most of the interior sets, like this one we're watching right now, are the same sets that were outside that we dragged in once we'd finished filming outdoors. We dragged in and sort of turned them inside out and repainted them a bit.
We could, in theory, we did consider whether we could do this, and we might have been able to build extra sets, but the other issue with that was not just that, but the timing of it. Obviously, our Bainan was, 11 or 12 at the time. And so he was at school and we couldn't just film with him for long periods. It was all restricted. And so, like, lots of his outdoor stuff is like, he comes after school, he does a few things and he leaves again. Whereas what we did for the interiors, we scheduled it so that it was the October half term, basically. So he was off school for a whole week. And we just took that whole week and we made it a filming week. So that was kind of set. And so even if we had the sets built, we wouldn't necessarily have been able to... We might have been able to do certain things that he wasn't in, but he was in a lot of the interior scenes. So, it was... you sort of had to balance it a lot.
It's your favourite shot, isn't it?
I do really like that shot. It's just so... I mean, I'm a big forest fan, as I've said before, and it's just so beautiful with the smoke coming in and the bracken and the tree, and it's a nicely composed shot. I like the shots.
Yeah. We're lucky with the light as well on that one.
Yes.
Was that smoke that you added again?
Yes, all of the smoke is added.
And there is hours and hours of footage where we started rolling and did the slate, and then had to wait for the smoke to get in the right place, and you can hear people shouting in the background, "Oh, it's run out of
we've run out of
smoke fluid," and
or
they've run up
gas
and changed
or...
the cans. You know, these kind of handheld gas-powered smoke machines. Working with
we
smoke
had
is a
one
pain.
of them, and so you're in a big forest where it's quite windy.
Yeah.
And you can see in some shots there's clearly plumes of smoke rather than a nice haze in the forest. It's obvious smoke, but like it does make such a difference actually using it, and we used it a lot. But I'm glad we did, because despite the pain that it had, and I think it's also a bit of a learning curve. I think for next time, we'd hopefully be able to afford a couple more things, and you can do stuff in big forests. They usually have a big sort of tube with holes, and that makes a bit more of an even spread sort of smoke thing, and we do that. And inside we have hazes rather than smoke, so you'd see less of the smoke plumes and stuff. But
we should talk about the fights.
We should talk about the fights. Yeah, Ronan was here on stream the other day, and hopefully we'll be back up for the end of the campaign, possibly with Dieter as well.
Who was our action coordinator from Independent Drama, and he would come along each fight day, and he would try and bring. He has this kind of pool of fight performers, and he would try and bring as many as possible. And
for the forest we had a lot of great people come who had done fights before, and they practice with Dieter those fights in the forest a lot more. But again, we didn't have a huge amount of time to do all of this stuff, so there was apart from the forest stuff, or even some of the forest stuff was sort of tweaked on the day with what we could do, the location that we're at. Everything had to be sort of checked to how safe it was, because we were on quite a steep hill, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it.
You can't really tell, but this whole fight scene that just took place on quite a steep hill, it just made everything a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
And poor Dieter, who plays Liana, dislocated her shoulder just before we shot this.
Not on the film, on something else, but she so the very first, so we actually went to Epping twice, did about 4 days and 4 days, I think, over the course of the whole shoot. So we did some of this stuff. I'm trying to remember. This stuff I think was the first shoot, but the breaking of the Aretha and then all of the fights with Dieter pretty much was the second shoot once she'd had time to heal up. So it was more just the first sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Epping Forest. I used it for Born of Hope. It's surprising, like this beautiful ancient forest, so close to London, so easy to get to, really, and it always looks great on camera. So pretty cool.
A lot of trudging through the mud to get to this location.
Definitely
jumping over streams and things.
Once a nice little buggy or something to take me to set, but we didn't have any of that. It was we were carrying stuff back at 3 a.m.
What's that, Ben?
I was saying, I think trudging through the mud is the one common element that we have with every single indie fantasy film around the world. No matter where it is, we're going to end up trudging through the mud to get to a cool location.
Yeah, cool locations are never as easy to get to because there's a reason why they look so nice. And, if they were easy to get to, they'd be full of tourists and you wouldn't be able to film there. So, so any of these beautiful waterfalls and various things are usually a slightly precarious climb or something to get to, which is always a little bit terrifying. But the first time you scout it, it's bad enough. And then you come back with, like, all the equipment and realize how you've got to now get down with all the equipment as well.
Yeah. And the mountains in the background here, they're added in post. Because this is Cambridgeshire. Cambridgeshire was a very flat...
Was that a handheld shot originally, or did you add the shake afterward?
That was a genuine handheld shot.
Yes, we just made life hell for the VFX people.
Yeah.
I can tell.
I don't know. I can't remember how much we thought about that, but
I don't know whether we knew that we were going to add the mountains at the time.
I think we didn't think we probably thought we didn't have the luxury. So, but luckily we found some talented people who were able to do it, which was brilliant.
And this is the end of episode 2. If you watched the original version.
Yes.
I'm curious to hear kind of how you designed these sets, because it's rare to see an indie fantasy show that has so much of a build associated with it, and kind of how you accomplish that on your budget.
So a lot of this is down to Christopher Dane, who kind of like took up the mantle basically of the set.
He's the co-creator of the show.
Co-creator of the show, co-writer of the show, plays Khan in the show. And he kind of took it on himself as the main the person. I mean, essentially he has the production designer award for a reason, because although officially we had no production designer really, he did so much work on that it felt right to be giving that to him. And so originally there is some fun designs we've got. I can't remember if it's in the creating. In some of the behind the scenes you can see it, but we have he basically just diddle doodle, like looking at the car park, looking at again where that raised platform thing was, and then drew some very basic kind of like U-shapes, I guess. So like, here's a building and here's 2 walls, and here's a building and here's 2 walls. But I think he also he envisioned it more that it was that he built like the house and then a sort of another bit, so that you could kind of like overlap a lot of stuff and make it look like there was a second layer beyond and an alleyway. So everything was cheated like there were alleyways. But a bunch of it, we bought a bunch of I want to call it OBS, but that's not right, because that's is it OBS?
Yeah.
It's this sort of reconstituted sort of panel of wood, basically, like because the cheapest thing we could find really that was decent size thickness, and then kind of built some flats out of that, some reinforcement. So the other person we have to sort of mention, who was heavily involved in making of the sets, is Michael Hudson, who would have probably been there daily if he was able, but he had a job that he had to go away to, so he'd come every weekend. He came one weekend and then just stayed. And he was brilliant. He brought all his kids got involved, and they made it a huge family affair of building. They built the whole platform and things. But he and Chris really together did a lot of the building. So as well as the ones we built from scratch, there is a wonderful service here in the UK called Set Exchange. I think set-exchange.co.uk, and it's kind of like FreeCycle, but for sets and props, and not so much for costumes, but those sort of things. And I spotted on there that there was a whole load of flats going a begging at the end of a big interactive theatre thing. So they had 50 flats going spare. And so Chris took Morrison, our tiny little van, and headed down to London about 3 times or more, I can't remember, and picked up as many flats as he could from this, and then we repainted them and stuff. So we did manage to get a whole load of sort of built flats ready, and then just redressed them, and they were for free, apart from the petrol costs. So that made a huge difference to how many we could do. Because my typical way, I'm like, can we make it bigger? Can we add more stuff? And then it's just a bit of creativity as well with sometimes there's a sheet sort of trying to block out the fact that there's a warehouse right behind. And
a lot of bundles of willow sticks to hide joins in the set. I think that became a bit of a running joke, really, that if there was anything that needed covering, that you just put a bundle of willow sticks in front of it.
So again, all these willow sticks from there we go, bundles of willow sticks.
And these market stalls were all made as well, weren't they? For the production.
We managed to build a bunch of those, again, like all through our volunteers who just came. And one of the things we put out right early was we need wood. Was kind of like the big thing. We need anything you can spare. And so like people would, I mean, sometimes we're getting sort of random stuff like, here's a chopping board. It's like, okay, great. But we got a lot of, like people told us about a loft conversion that was happening. And so we were able to collect a load of wood. We literally were sort of like dumper diving pretty much. So like we went to a place where there was just a big pile of wood and we're taking whatever we could. And again, like the willow bonfire, we were taking everything from there as well. So so like all of the gates to the village are all, I can't remember where they came from, to be honest. But again, all of those were just pieces that we got given and created two sort of like little sections that could be the sort of sides of this, as if it continued. But it's just about this wide. It's really not very big. And then just traveling those, they were heavy, so we had to like wheel them around a lot.
Moved around on pallet lifter,
so a lot of volunteers and a lot of people, but we were lucky we had the space.
Yeah, and some amazing props made for the show as well, like this pendant by Rebecca Illett, is it?
Yes. So we, I think Michelle, our producer, knew Rebecca and said she was studying silversmithery. Asked if she might get involved, and we mentioned we had this idea for a pendant, and together we kind of like developed this cool pendant that sort of like came apart because it wanted to sort of feel like a clasp that could also come apart. So
by the way, all the firelight here is all fake. There's a couple of cutaways of a real fire, but all that kind of flickering orange light is actually just someone wiggling a gold reflector that a light's bouncing off.
Yeah. This is the very first shot we ever shot. And
that was Richard Zeman's very first shot.
Yes, and Richard Zeman came in for a fitting, and then we were like, we could just shoot this. Poor guy was not ready for anything, and then we just instantly was like, actually, let's just, while we can, let's shoot something.
Yeah, because he'd just flown over from Prague, was it?
I think Prague was where he came from. I think he's since moved to Canada. He sort of flits his time between Prague and Canada, so we're gonna have to bring him back over from there. But yeah, the poor guy was like literally like, hi, first day, great, go on set, act, amazing. But yeah, I did a great job of all this. I really love this shot, like that. I love the whole cockiness of Hunter. We've like from cocky to that moment is a really fun thing.
And again, Bainan's shots here, watching, done at a completely different time.
Yeah.
Reacting to nothing.
Yeah. It's the amount of stuff that is all disjointed is kind of crazy. That it all fits together so well, considering.
The interiors were done more as whole scenes, but the outside stuff did get very bitty.
Yeah, whenever someone was around, we shot on them. That was kind of how it had to be.
And this prison set was recycled from your Through the Eyes of Men.
Through the Eyes of Men, which was a sort of like promo for a proposed TV miniseries about Mary Read, famous female pirate, which I still would like to make. So yeah, maybe I need to get in touch with the guys who make Black Sails and be like, your set, is that going to baby, come over to South Africa and shoot. But yeah, that's definitely a story that needs to be made. Sorry if we're not talking to chat. We'll check chat in a bit. But hello to everyone who is there. But yes, this cell was brought out and dusted off and repainted and rejigged, and I think the window was cut into it to create that prison cell. Can't beat a good prison cell.
No. And this guard room was Ren's bedroom.
Yes, repainted. So we couldn't do any once we were shot on it, it was done because it got completely changed into a brand new place, which was weird. It was sort of like, it was fun to change it, but also really a bit like, oh, we're losing one whole set. But it was really crazy to see the change that happened. And again, like, the table was destroyed to make the door and things. It was just like, oh. But that's, you recycle what you can. We had to use it. You were?
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that viewers don't often realize when they see an indie show that looks really good, just how low the budget was and how little you had to work with and how much of what's on the screen is just reusing resources and being incredibly resourceful with very little.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. It's and it's sort of like, I sort of forget sometimes as well how we managed to what you're able to do if you're a bit creative with stuff. It's like, how can we do this? Okay, we got a few swords, let's make them set dressing, and we've got I had a sort of funny lantern thing which incidentally, that lantern that's in the guard room, the sort of like is a brazier type holder, is used in the very, very first shot. It's the brazier in the background that you just see some firelight, and so it's all just using that. Can we use that again? Can we use that again? Can we change this? Can we, and like Hans is up looking like he's on a sort of like platform, but I think, is he just on a ladder?
No, there was a little platform.
Did they make a platform?
Yeah, they built a little wooden staircase and platform behind that keep so someone could stand on the top like that.
And that's the only time we could have used it.
I know. One of my big regrets about season 1 is that we never quite got a nice big wide shot of this set.
Yeah. It was so hard to do because we didn't think we'd have the visual effects capability, I think.
Yeah, well, I think what stopped us mostly was extras. Like the times when we wanted to do this, it was like we never felt we quite had enough extras to fill that wide shot.
So we did do, incidentally, there is footage. We did actually try to do a kind of split screen composition shot. So because of that extras thing, we did a shot where we sort of had them all stand in that area while we locked off a shot from the top of the keep, and then we stood them all in this area, and then we stood them all here. And we did make a shot where the place was busier with the same sort of 25 or so extras milling around, and it was kind of cool. But there, like, and with a bit of tweaking, because we just did a rough version of it, and I'm sure with a bit of tweaking we could have made that work really nicely. The problem was where to use it as well. So even when we had that, we were like, but where? Because we'd have to get rid of the car park, and then and we thought our only sort of time we thought it might be usable was the map painting basically of the village from so far away, and it was like we could kind of use it there, but then they'd be so small you wouldn't see anything anyway. And I think like maybe we weren't able to, because of the capabilities. We had. Did we have a crane shot once? No, I don't think we even did. We
didn't do any crane shots.
The crane, we had access to a sort of homemade crane, but it's very hard to get a really stable shot with it, so we never really made use of that. And I think maybe if drones were a bit easier to use, like we could have had a sort of like done almost a crane shot with a drone or something. But it was very hard nowadays. So I think again we can be more creative with new episodes of doing more interesting shots, more sort of like either because we have a budget to actually get some proper equipment, or just the technology has moved on. Because even just doing that drone shot through the forest at the very beginning with Dita was, I think we were just kind of trying it out, and we were actually the original shots were like we came up high and watched them run under us, and then realizing now, I think I sort of been more going, okay, no, actually use it to drive the action a bit more. Like, so when we actually had it kind of cross paths, it sped up that chase so much more, and it made it so dramatic and interesting that I'd be up for looking at using that more. And we probably will need actually especially in the first episode that's coming up. But yeah.
Here's Hunter laying out the guards, and who are playing the Dole game, which is one of our rewards.
Yeah, you can play that game yourself. Don't worry, Hunter won't knock you out in the middle of it.
Oh, we can't guarantee that.
We can't guarantee that. No, it's in the terms and conditions. But yeah. But yeah, that was a really fun scene to do. I think everyone loved the day when we were doing the guard room stuff. We all did have quite a laugh.
Yeah.
And I think Duran really liked it, as it felt like a moment where Hunter's making sort of choices about one, like, and just seeing him how blasé he is about it as well. It's just like, yeah, you guys are a problem, so you're dealt with. Ooh, money? Okay, cool. Where's my stuff? Ooh, wait, there's an extra knife. This is nice. I like it. I'll take it. Like, it's just so like, yep, this is me. I'm just gonna do my thing, no matter the consequences, kind of thing. But yeah. Talking of which, I think that's his hands, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the Master was played by several different people during the shooting. Most of the close-ups are Ronin, the action coordinator, but a lot of these wide shots, sometimes it's Duran who plays Hunter, sometimes it's Chris who played Khan, and sometimes it's one of the fight team or one of the extras.
Yeah, we made about 6 people, the Master at one point, including a girl. So, yeah, whoever was on hand, there was not, we didn't have the luxury to have someone playing that role all the time, so it was whoever could fit whoever was free and could fit the costume. Yeah. But it was a really heavy costume to wear,
yeah, because
apparently.
his cloak was made out of like
curtains and stuff.
Yeah, really,
but like
heavy.
Real layers of curtains.
Yeah.
And so it was a not very comfortable costume to be wearing. Very hot, very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And the gloves came from an adult shop.
An adult shop, yeah.
Yeah, we'll like to say more about that movie.
No, just finding long black gloves for men is hard, and that was apparently where we found them.
That's a pickup shot. That close up of Sophie there. That was done about a year later.
Yeah. I can't remember quite why. I don't know if we just she didn't say anything, or she said something but it wasn't quite what we wanted her to say. There was a reason for changing it. I think. And
actually, a lot of these close-ups of a group of 5 or 6 like this, 5 or 6 extras reacting, those were pickups as well.
Yeah, so all the close-ups of the extra, like the villagers, not apart from that one, apart from Ida, all the others where they're shouting is all pickups. Shot in a friend's garden with a few flats behind, just to make it work. But I didn't have enough. I didn't get the crowd riled up enough when we were actually shooting, and realised sort of that we needed a bit more. So we got a few more faces in and did a few more things. So all these. Again, to react to what Dahlia's saying, to enhance what Dahlia's saying. So there's a mixture of the two. You're seeing pickups mixed with what we shot a year before, and putting all those together just picked that pace up and heightened everything, and gave more drama to the whole scene, which was necessary. There was so much happening in that very first shoot, and we were trying to get so many things. That we just wanted a bit more, and I'm really glad. It was it was tough to come back and do it a year later, but it was worth it. I think it really was.
It really heightened the whole thing.
Yeah.
So had you edited a version of the scene and then realized that you wanted to do the pickups?
Yeah. Basically, I'd edited all of the episodes together, and it was just the 4th episode was just feeling a little bit dead. It didn't have much oomph. It was like she's the marked one, but everyone was just going, you know, and it like, and that's kind of what I directed them to do. They were just like, oh, this is a person you know, and you're shocked about it. And I was like, this isn't interesting enough. This isn't sort of dramatic enough. This is a moment where she's been captured by, you know, and so again, working through the edit and then working with Simon, who was helping me, who's a professional editor on lots of big shows, and I can't remember whether we talked about it together or suggested it, and I think we were both seeing that it was a problem, and I was like, we might be able to do some pickups. Like, if this is important enough, let's figure this out. We got the costumes, got stuff, so, and I was sort of thinking how to do it,
I was going to say the visual effects that we just saw of Ren's powers, we have a whole video about that as kind of tutorial of how to do similar stuff yourself, because a lot of it was just composited elements that we shot here in the backyard, smoke and debris and things, so there's a video about that on our YouTube channel.
If you're interested in knowing how we did that, it's really interesting to see.
Website called Microfilmmaker posted an article which you can find links to on our Twitter and Facebook and our newsletter about how that was done. And the explosions who were done with air cannons.
So just little like pump upable sort of. I mean, like we got them from friends who had used them in their previous productions. So they were built for. I think they were built by Realm Pictures, who are UK filmmakers, and they built them for their sort of action zombie adventure thing. And so we borrowed 3 of them, I think. And then had them sort of tested and tweaked and stuff by our kind of tech guru Mike, and then so he came along to help out, and we filled them with sort of debris and cork and various things, and set them off behind our actors, who just basically stood on barrels and then jumped onto mats, and actually one thing about that. Was Simon, the editor I was mentioning. One thing he was very impressed with was that sort of stuff, because he said that looks almost so much better than some of the times when he's seen wire work and various things, like we've managed to make it look really impressive, considering they're just jumping, going, oh no, you know, like this is our Star Trek moment of like, oh, the ship is falling.
I remember we had an extra camera on set that day because my camera was playing up, and we'd sent it back for repair, and there was a crossover period where we had 2, so we just stuck an extra camera on the floor pointing straight upwards and got a nice extra angle of soldiers sort of flying overhead, which was good.
So that was really good. Half a day of people jumping around. This was a really nice scene to do, because I think this was before we moved inside, and this was like almost the first moment where we had pretty much all the characters together. Like there wasn't very much dialogue, but there was just enough to like go, oh, we're doing a scene, like rather than just like a lot of moments. It was like finally we actually have a bunch of actors together, all in their character, all doing their thing. And that was really nice.
I remember on Ren's close-up in that scene, there was a bit of rain visible that we had to have painted out.
Did we?
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did start to rain.
Yeah.
There you go. It rained a lot on us. And this scene, I don't know if you can kind of tell, like, so we started off sort of daytime. Oh, thank you for the contribution. Like, we're so close to 26,000. Come on, people, we only need a few more pounds.
This scene was I think written for daytime, and then I think partly because we just found ourselves having to start shooting it late in the day, and partly because I was I think pushing for the series to end at night to sort of close off the day. We ended up going for this sunset look here,
which is so good though. It's such a nice you know, it makes such a difference to this whole scene. Like suddenly, like, you know, it's a sunset for characters. It's a you know, it's a rounding off of Ren's life in one part, and now she's about to start this new one. So, and it's just with that sort of that wide with the like it's just a light right behind a sort of again a wicker fence thing. But it gives the impression of the sun setting.
There are a couple of shots in here that are real sunset, but most of it is fake.
Most of it's
and
fake.
In fact, some of the shots we almost made a ceiling out of white beadboard
because it got
bounced light into it.
It became a night shoot basically, and so the shots of I think Chris and Duran there when they're sort of standing, you kind of see in the background it's like pretty black behind them, and a little bit of light, but essentially we put a bounce board above them just to try and lighten it up so that it's more sunset and not a night shoot completely. But we just about get away with it. It works. And then, it's into night anyway.
The one shot of the real... Oh, no, there's one of two shots of the real horse.
Yes. Yes, the horse that, bless it, it was, it did not really like doing what we're asking it to do.
It was not a movie horse.
It was not a movie horse.
Just there was a farm across the road from our factory studio.
And they said, we can help.
We saw horses in their field and we basically went over there and said, can we borrow a horse?
Yeah, pretty much, I think they came past us at the bridle way and they were looking over the wall.
Right, yeah.
And I think we went over and talked to them. But yeah, and so kindly they brought over the horse. Dran had gotten used to the horse a bit, although the horse didn't seem to like him very much, but I don't think he liked anybody. And so actually on the day it was a little bit sort of like, are we doing this, because it was nighttime and everything. And actually we made sure that the owner was in the shot essentially and just holding the horse.
Painted the horse's owner out.
She's just standing where the lean-to is, and we painted her out because I did not want us to let go of that, because Duran's on concrete, not on grass, and no one wants to be tipped onto concrete by a horse who does not want to be there. So we're like, let's just get that, and then off Tony the Phony Pony.
Yes, so Chris, Dane, and Claire Finn from the crew built a fake horse. Basically, it's called Tony the Phony Pony.
Tony the Phony Pony, yeah. I basically went to them and said, look, I think we need a fake horse. This is a very normal thing for films to do. I was like, we already have a barrel. Like, literally, you could just put them on a barrel. And I was like, just figure out, barrel. And I actually had randomly, really, purchased a horse hide at one of there's a reenactors market that we would go to pick up various things like leather and stuff, and we'd picked up a horse hide from a leather maker, and I was like, I don't know when I'm going to use this. Yeah. But he offered a good deal, and then suddenly we had one. It was the right kind of colour as well for the horse, which was just crazy.
So it was just basically a wooden frame on wheels with a barrel on top. Bit of polystyrene.
Bit of polystyrene to give a little bit of a neck.
And then the horse
hide, and then the saddle, fake saddle from the thing. Yeah. And then Chris desperately wheeling this thing, trying to rock it and wheel it. I mean, goodness, it was kind of crazy. But it worked. It worked. And then a shot of the real horse galloping away, cantering away with the rider. So Ren and Hunter, they'd actually left. No. I think they were wrapped for the whole shoot. And then we brought in the rider who I've completely forgotten names, so I don't want to say names that I'm wrong, but sorry.
Ren's costume.
So she's just wearing Ren's costume, and she's actually got a hard hat on and the hood up. But it's enough because we're looking from the back. You can't tell that Hunter's not in front of her. Yeah. We're like, this is enough. This is what we need. Just to get that shot of they're going away, and then cut that with the shots that we had. And again, bit of movie magic. Surprising what you're able to do. Cool. I will get rid of the black box above our heads, and then we'll maybe have a quick look at
Let's see what people said in the chat.
Yeah, the chat.
Any questions that we need to answer here? Avi R on YouTube says it's very inspiring how you've created this world with your humble budget. It's your extraordinary imagination and passion that gives us, the viewers, such a fun and memorable ride.
Yay!
Thank you, Avi.
Thank you.
Do you have any ideas that might branch off from
Ren? Point out related to that budget. One of the questions that always comes up during crowdfunding campaign, people say, "Well, gosh, you pulled this off for nothing. Why do you need more money?" And the answer is, it's you can get people together once to volunteer, but maintaining a story, getting people out there, having consistency, so much of that is being able to pay. It's about paying people fairly for their labor. Movies take so many dozens, if not hundreds, of people to accomplish, and in order to do it well, to get people to come out and to take care of it, you want to take care of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like, absolutely, like that we were, as I said, we were like delving into skips and looking for things and various and it does restrict you. We try not to let it restrict us. We try and make sure that our creativity is not too squashed by any budget restrictions, but they're always there. Like, we're limited by we're even if it's just a simple case of like, I don't know, the forest at the beginning with all the rain. One, we could probably have stopped the rain if not quite stopped the rain, but like but kept our characters more dry maybe. But like we had one light because that's what we could afford, and we had a certain amount of cable from where we needed it to go, so we couldn't, and we had a certain amount of height we could put it because of what you can afford to get. Whereas we could have shot that so much better even if we had the budget to do so. Like more lights, more thing. You could get the moonlight higher so it looks more moonlight. There's so many things like that yes, we made it work, but imagine if we actually could. We weren't restricted by that. And that's what we just want to keep it as sustainable as possible, but also just give us that extra little boost. Like we say, we didn't do any big crane shots and stuff because we didn't really have the means to do so, but let's not restrain ourselves from doing it next time, so that we can just boost everything just that little bit higher. We're always aiming here and then pulling down, so we'd like to pull less down really to have that bar just reach for that bar even more, basically. And that's what we'd love to do.
Avi's asking if we have any ideas that might branch off from Ren in the future, like side stories, prequels, sequels.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there are there's so much, like, as we started to develop this whole story and create this world, the sort of the mythology of this world started to grow beyond, in a way, what the original sort of thoughts were. And over the years, those have developed even more. And so so much of the backstory dictates the story we're now seeing, that it's become incredibly important. And there's some of it we're going to get glimpses of within Ren because of how linked it is. But there's huge amounts of backstory that we could do. I mean, there's 100+ years since the big event with Montfort and everything that we're probably not going to see much of because we just probably won't be able to. Again, budget wise, that's a potential restriction. But yeah, so we've got all of that time period we could fill in with other things. There's all these characters that we could fill in, and there's backstory even before all of that we could do. So now that we have this world, it would be so lovely to explore other areas that Ren maybe won't visit herself, but even
there
just
already are some short stories. There are a couple of short stories about Ren that exist, and one of those was actually the pre-pledge reward for people that pre-committed to the Kickstarter. They'll be getting a little short story book, and there's a podcast. Christopher Dane made a podcast sort of going into some of the backstory, and
there's various mythology and stuff in there as well. Like you probably spin off. And then and loads of others like that. Some that we haven't even started delving into, but we totally could. And that is and the hope was to always do more than just Ren with the Mythica sort of channel and everything. So there's lots of ideas for that. And if you're interested in something specific, do let us know. But even just what various sort of capers that Hunter and Lyanna got up to before the Aretha heist and stuff, is interesting. So there's so much you can pull from, and it would be lovely to explore them more, definitely.
Well, I'm gonna pop in briefly here. 'Cause I unfortunately have to get going to head off to another meeting, but just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to participate, and to everyone out there who's watching, to just remind you all that this is absolutely a community effort. It's without you, Ren can't be made. Without you, Shiny New Things can't be made. Without you, Strowlers can't be made, or AFK, or any other independent shows who are working on being able to continue their story. So thank you so much for watching and for engaging, and remember that it's not just about the money. If you don't have the money to pledge to support Ren, you can always help introduce new people to it. You can watch the show on Amazon, on the Fantasy Network, on Seed and Spark, on Mod Show, on YouTube. Just go out there and give people an opportunity to discover why Ren is such a phenomenal show and why it deserves your support for this next season.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ben. I will let you wander. We'll we'll chat again later.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye
bye. Hey to everyone in the chat. We've got Kira Wolf. We've got Makes Photo 78, Plywood Prison Cell. Yep. I think it looked pretty convincing now on screen. Thanks to World War II, says they've donated already. Yay. Awesome. Thank you. Hi to Christopher, our intern. How's it going? Harshita Ray, love the story. Thank you. We're very proud of it. We want to see it continue. Greetings to Bobcat Folk Soul Mountains. Greetings back to you. Avi says your pirate idea sounded interesting.
Yeah.
Wonder how you do it with ships. I think you're mostly inside the ships, right? So too much.
Yeah. So like we were talking earlier about a little pirate trailer thing that you can. Well, it's not so easy to find, to be honest, but it's over on my Actors at Work channel. But we'll maybe re-spark it. Thank you for the back.
Thank you.
We're so close. We're so close to 26. So what we did for our trailer is it's really interesting to check out because it's similar sort of stuff. Like we had limited amounts that like what we could do. I was very lucky at that time to have a very small corner of a little warehouse as well. So again, was able to build a set, but I actually again recycled a set. We had friends, the guys at Realm Pictures that I mentioned with the air cannons, had done a shoot, and they'd built this kind of ship set. And I basically, they were scrapping it, and I was able to rescue various bits of it, and then sort of rejig it together, give it a repaint job. We rescued some of their cannons, their various things, and yeah, so we were able to do that. Hired some really good costumes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Don't seem to be able to reply to comments without it playing the damn stream.
Oh no. Yeah, we'll have to figure out, like, we did a different setup today, so we don't have Restream isn't showing us the chat so easily, which is why we're less interactive. I'm sorry about that. But we're looking at it on our phones and things. But yeah, so we shot most of the interior sort of stuff. We did a little bit outside in a car park, and just rejigged some stuff around. Again, straw on the floor, that sort of thing, restricted what we were seeing, and managed to make that work with a little bit of stock footage as well. But yeah, the real project, I do think there's something in there. Like we have, like, I think now is potentially as well the time for this sort of story. But if anyone doesn't know the story of Anne Bonny and Mary Read, who are two famous the only real, or some of the main female pirates from the Golden Age, at least. There's lots of amazing female pirates out there in the world that we know about. But yes, they were famous. Anne Bonny is a character in Black Sails, as is Jack Rackham, but Mary Read was left out, and I think her story in particular is fascinating. She spent most of her life dressed as a man. And the pirate thing is only probably a year or 2 years of that, really. So it's a really fascinating story, and I'd love to get it made. So we'll see. Maybe we'll crowdfund that later.
And thanks to Barbarous the Penguin, who has posted the link to that in the Twitch chat.
Oh, you star!
And I've copied that over to Facebook. God knows how I
Is that to the trailer? Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Penguin. That is our guard we were talking about earlier, who also did our Steadicam shots and the drone shots and things. Hope you're feeling better, Richard. So I'm really tempted to keep streaming until we hit 26,000, considering we're on 25,984 right now. We only need a couple more people to back, or one nice big back, and then we'll hit that. Oh, she says that, and we go to 94. Come on, come on! We need 6 more pounds.
We can do it.
We can totally do it.
If you don't know about some of the rewards that are available, we have all kinds of cool stuff. If you're into filmmaking yourself, you might want to check out the video blogs from set, or the director or cinematographer experience.
Yeah, you could
shadow one of us.
You could spend the day on set with this guy, picking his brains about how he was lighting, and get annoyed at him for saying more smoke, etc. But understand why he's doing it. You'd probably be doing the smoke. To be honest, that's a pretty fun job, to be honest. And you also with the cinematographer experience, you get a whole course that we put together that talks about.
So Ben
lighting.
was asking earlier, how do you get that photographic?
Yay! We passed the 26,000.
Woo!
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. That's awesome. People was asking how do you get that to look cinematically. The way to find out is to back at the £300 pledge level, which is about $390, and get the cinematic lighting course, which is a 4-hour course.
4 hours of information
with how to light every scenario, day interior,
so
exterior,
much detail.
night interior, exterior, and how to get it looking cinematic, just like Ren.
Yeah.
If you're not a filmmaker, there's still loads of cool stuff. We have replicas of the game that we mentioned in the show.
Yep.
We have coins.
Cool
coin set will get bigger if we reach stretch goals. At no extra cost to you. That's pretty cool. The opportunity to be an extra.
Books.
Or a deluxe extra where you get your own custom-made costume that you keep afterwards.
Yeah, we have 2 people coming back, including Carl, who was an extra last time, is coming back to be the deluxe extra, and so he gets to basically Miriam, our costume designer, will create a costume especially for that person. It'll be designed and made for that person to work in the show. As a supporting artist, featured supporting artist, really, as that thing, and then once they've shot and they've done all their stuff, they get to walk away with that costume. My stomach's rumbling. I apologise if you can hear it. But yeah, they get to walk away with that costume and keep it forever, and wear it to various conventions or costume parties, or just generally down the street wearing their costume, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Cool. So it's a pretty cool thing, and if you just want to, to be fair, if you also just want to come set visit, just come along and be an extra, and you can always be like, I don't actually want to be on set, I just want to watch you guys, and it's like, that's fine. You get to sort of really see up close and personal what goes on.
We have downloads, we have stream it before everyone else, and a month subscription to the Fantasy Network, which we were talking about.
Yeah,
we have DVD box sets.
The photo book.
Book, which is a custom-made book, beautifully designed with images from the filming of the new episodes, behind-the-scenes stuff, and costumes and storyboards.
Yeah. All that stuff.
All the way up to our executive producer, which is our top-level reward, where you actually get to come to the script read through and meet the cast and crew and hear the new episodes before anyone else, and get a signed copy of the script, and we'll take you to lunch.
We're I mean, if someone became our executive producer, we're probably going to be adding a lot more things to that, if you know what I mean. You are basically going to be able to come along and visit, pretty much whenever you want. Well, I mean, like, they're an executive producer. They get they're gonna get a lot of stuff, like, and coming along to the script read is a pretty cool thing that not many people are gonna get the opportunity to do.
No.
Because it's so early and everything that everyone's a bit like, oh, nervous. So that will be really fascinating. You'll get to see, and the joy of that as well, you'll get to see it how it changes, because you'll get a copy of the script and you'll really be able to see how through shooting and editing and post-production and things, how the script changes, because it never stays exactly the same. It always they often say you make 3 films: the one you write, the one you shoot, and the one you edit. And so it's a fascinating insight into how it all comes together, which is awesome. But yeah,
and you're right, Belboth. Penguin Artems do rule.
Artems do rule. Yes.
I think I've lost the Twitch chat now, but
so, but yes. Well, we have actually hit our 26.
Yeah.
So we could round off if we wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's a good time to round.
We will. I'm trying to think when we'll be back. We don't know when. We'll let you know on the socials.
Yeah.
When we're going to be streaming again. We might be doing one at the weekend, but I'm not making any promises. We might be doing one at the weekend. But
we might try to get Alan involved.
Yes.
Alan, who plays Torbury.
Yes, Torbury is pretty local. Yeah. And again, maybe if we can persuade Balborough, if he's I think he might be coming this direction at some point, because I think he's working on another film with Ronan, in fact. And maybe we can persuade him to come and jump into live stream as well.
There's a question here we need to answer, because Cherry Berry says she tried to donate again, but Kickstarter only takes 1 donation. Is there a way to donate multiple times?
So I think what you mean is you probably tried to pick another pledge as well as the pledge you've made. Is that what you mean? Because you can pledge multiple times in the sense that you can change your pledge at any time. You are not locked in. That's one of the joys. You can literally go in there now and pledge the £1 thing, donation, and then decide later that you want to change it to an extras experience or something. So you can change your pledge, but if you're talking about if you for example want to be the deluxe extra, but also also the cinematic experience, say you want to go for those 2, you can't pick both of those because they're not covered, if you know what I mean. There's one or the other. So
most of our rewards stack, so if you increase your pledge, you should get new stuff but keep the lower down stuff as well.
The only thing at the moment that doesn't do that is the cinematic course.
Yeah.
So if you were wanting the course but not, say, the cinematic experience, but you wanted something different, and if it didn't stack, there are ways to do it. I would suggest go for the main thing that you want, or I would say go for the highest pledge if there is one, because that helps us hit our target. But in backer kit, when we're done, we should have a lot of the rewards should be available as add-ons. So the course, I'm assuming we're probably going to have that as a thing that you can add as well. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah. If you're still having trouble, DM us with exactly what you want to move up to, and we'll see if we can figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, but you should be able to change your pledge at any time. You can go up or down. We obviously encourage you not to go down. But yes, if there's something that you can't merge for some reason, either we can tweak it and add a pledge that does let you do that, or there will be a way to do it, but we just need to know what it is.
So she says, I donated once and then again a donation without a gift. So if you just want to sort of gift us extra money, you should be able to just increase your amount, right?
Yes. So basically, if you want a specific pledge, just add any donation essentially over the top of that, because you can just change it. You can say, okay, I want the £80 pledge level because I want the coins, for example, and then you can change the figure from 80 to 100, for example. So you should be able to just add it. But yeah, if you go back in and you say pledge this at no reward, it will probably change your pledge to no reward. So if you are wanting something an actual reward, make sure you pledge on that and just add the extra donation as an extra thing. That's what we would suggest. So yeah, just up your bid essentially, but you can keep the reward you're at. Yeah.
And thank you so much for.
Thank you for
awesome.
wanting to up your bid. That's amazing. Cool. Okay. Shall I? Is this something I could watch? Oh, I should have put the bloopers. If you haven't seen them, do have a look. There, I think I put they're in the update on the Kickstarter and everything. But because we hit the 25% yesterday, we released a fun little blooper video about our soldiers and the poor helmets they had to try and wear. So do check it out because it's really fun. It's on all the socials and things. Share it around, spread the love. We have a few more of those up our sleeve, and we will be dropping them when we hit various fun targets and stuff. So our current thing is, let's get ourselves to 50% back. So let's get to that 50 grand thing. We know then we've got an episode essentially. Yeah. We've funded an episode and we just need to get another. So so that's our main aim at the moment, is that. Encourage your friends, spread the word as always. And I have to leave you on your own to round off, I guess.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. As we said, we will let you know when the next stream's going to be, possibly on Saturday, but we will let you know on the socials. And please keep spreading the word, letting people know about Ren and pushing us forwards towards that goal.
All right.